You're watching The Experience Comic Culture and Sales, streaming live daily to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter.
Hello. Welcome to Space Cadettes. I'm Bean. I'm joined by Jena and Alfie. And we are here. I'm a little tired today. That's okay. It's relatable. I think a lot of people are tired around the holidays.
Or in general.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Sleepy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
What happened in nap time?
Oh my gosh.
Have you guys seen anything new lately? Like, what have you guys been watching?
I actually have something for this.
Ooh. Okay.
Okay. I think it's called Tulsa King. I think that's what it's called. It's got Sylvester Stallone in it, and he's like a mobster that he's been in prison for a while, and he just got out, and it's like current times. I think he went in before cell phones, I believe, and he's now out. And he's from New York, but his mobster family, they're like, dude, actually you can't be a mobster here. Like we can't do stuff here. Or you can't. But hey, we have this place out in Tulsa. Why don't you go there? It'll be great. And he's basically just trying to which I'm gonna double check the name because I'm pretty certain it's Tulsa. But he's basically trying to create his empire in Tulsa now.
Oklahoma, right? Like
yes. But like it starts by like he goes to he goes to a dispensary.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a perfectly legal dispensary.
Yeah.
And he like tries to shake them down. Like, hey, you should pay me for protection. Because the feds are just going to bust this place up. Like, it seems like he doesn't fully understand that, like, dude, it's legal here.
Yeah. It had been a few years since I had driven through Oklahoma, and I drove through, like, the state a little bit this year. As soon as you cross that border, I was like, I'm not in Texas anymore. Like, it was like we were just dispensaries lining both sides of the road. There's billboards for them. I'm like, no, I'm in a different legal jurisdiction right now, like than I was a second ago.
I feel like either way of going, like I haven't been to Oklahoma in a long time or driven through it, but it's kind of like driving to Louisiana and you start seeing all these like advertisements for like adult stores, like giant billboards for them, and it's like we don't really advertise that largely in Texas.
I don't know. In Houston, they're everywhere.
Well, no. I'm saying giant billboards, billboard advertisements, not just that they have stores, but like.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like they have
huge
billboards out in downtown.
Okay, downtown, but this is like just randomly.
That's crazy.
But yeah, but yeah, anyway, Tulsa King, I highly recommend it. It's really, really good. Oh, he ends up like part of it is like he gets an Uber, I think from the airport, and he ends up hiring the kid as like his personal taxi. Because and they become friends. It's like a whole thing. Please watch Tulsa King. It is so, so good. Let me check what network it is on because I don't remember. Huh?
Okay. Does he get to build his, crazy gangster empire?
Well, he's starting to. I mean, the show, it's only like 3 episodes in, I think.
Oh,
I think the next episode is Sunday.
Sunday.
Yeah.
Man, to like go totally the opposite of like a brand new show. I watched a really old movie when I was like at home with my family, just like we were just like, you know what, it's after Thanksgiving, let's watch Christmas movies, And number one, I love Christmas movies. I'm sorry, Jena. I saw the face. I saw the face.
I gave no face. I don't know what you speak of.
We have recorded proof. We can rewind.
You speak not.
So I watched It's a Wonderful Life for the first time as an adult. Oh my god, that movie.
I've actually never seen that one.
Okay, so it starts off with a suicide.
It's
dark.
It's the story of a guy who's like, it's just like his life story. And like as a kid, so my mom always liked that movie and I watched it as a kid. And so like I knew the plot of it, but like just as an adult watching it, and like it's just about a guy who's like has plans for his life and then they keep getting disrupted by life, by like he plans to like go and travel and do all these things, and then things like his dad passes away and he takes over the family business, and then his little brother gets married and so he doesn't come home and take over that business, and then the guy has a wife and kids, and like it's just like all the things in life that build up, and then like a bunch of bad things happen all at the same time, and he's like, I'm gonna unalive myself, like I'm gonna commit suicide.
Yeah.
And then it goes back through like, hey, actually, you've really helped people in your life and you shouldn't do that. And I cried a lot for the first time watching because I was just like, oh my god, like this movie hits different now.
It's a dark movie for every Christmas to watch movie. It's dark. You know what else is a dark Christmas movie that nobody else really like talks about? White Christmas with Frank Sinatra. No.
I haven't seen that one either.
Huh?
I said Bing Crosby. Is that who's in White
Bing
Christmas?
Crosby, thanks you.
I don't know if I've seen it. I don't know why I know that trivia about it, but like
Netflix.
Yeah.
So it opens up, it's World War II. There's a group of dudes, they're singing to kind of like, it's Christmas Day during World War II, and there's bombs going off in the background, and this Christmas Eve, not Christmas Day, I'm sorry, Christmas Eve. And they're singing, the two dudes are up on stage singing and trying to get everybody to get in the Christmas spirit, right? And then bombs start going off, and they are trying to say goodbye to their captain because he's retiring at the same time. This is all happening at the same time. And then he leaves, the captain leaves, and then the two dudes, they try to do another song, and another like bomb goes off and a building starts falling. The one dude saves him. And he's like, oh, my arm. Oh, we could be a duet if we go back to the U.S. Oh, ooh, ow. Here's my music. I just happen to have it with me. Check it out. Oh, I can't believe I saved your life. My arm. And then he takes his arm out of the cast to shake his hand. And you're like, now hold on a minute. You're bamboozled. I feel bamboozled. And then they're back in the States. They get super famous as being this duet. And then to help a friend in the army, they go to see this sister act. And it kind of comes off as one of them was using their brother's name to try and get these famous duo to come see them. And of the famous duo, one of the dudes is like, can you get married and have 8 kids and spend 5 minutes apiece with each kid so I can get a massage? And the other dude's like, nah, I like to work instead.
What?
Yeah. So... yeah, and it tumbles from there. They end up in a cabin that's owned by their captain, and like in Vermont, and it's like the hottest year Vermont's ever has. There's no snow, so nobody's coming up to ski or go to the cabin, and he's about to lose everything. In fact, their main like general like head honcho of their troops while they were in World War II, and he's sitting there in a butler outfit, just being like trying to like be a busboy and clean up, and there's like nobody there. And so they're like, okay, well, we're gonna put on a show here, but we're gonna do it to surprise him, so that way everybody like, let's help him, let's help the old general. And one of the chicks like overhears it. What my favorite character in this is the main she's like the main, not maid, but the main like nosy, she calls her a nosy maid, but anyways, she's in charge of like everything else because it's her and the captain pretty much running this whole thing, raising his granddaughter. And yeah, she's like, oh, I wouldn't be part of the nosy neighbors if I didn't, learn how to pick up a phone without making it sound like I'm picking up the phone. You're just like, wait, what just happened? And she only heard half the conversation, so it makes it look like Bing Crosby's a really bad guy and is using the captain instead of doing all this like charitable work. And so one of the chicks, the one that he's finally falling in love with, just like, no, I'm good, peace, and bounces. Mm-hmm. Just like a letter to her sister is like, I'm good now, bye. You're like, what? This is an extreme reaction to something you overheard to somebody else that only heard half of a conversation on a phone call. Wait a minute, hold on. And it's just, yeah. Great music. And they also do the Fosse, so everybody should watch it.
I guess that's probably why I haven't seen it. I don't watch a lot of musicals.
I don't either.
This is one. It's called White Christmas. I would highly recommend making an exemption. Exemption, yeah.
Or an exception.
Yeah, that too. It's like only like an hour and a half. And it's not bad.
That's not bad.
It starts off really dark. And yeah.
That actually reminded me, and I can't believe I forgot that this is, I'm pretty certain it's technically a Christmas movie, but you had mentioned war times and stuff, and I was like, and that unlocked, was it Joyeux Noel? That movie where it's like two sides of World War II, I think it's World War II, where they're just like, you know what, it's Christmas. Let's just calm down for a second.
Okay, yeah. For Christmas Day, there was in real life, this is real life history, Christmas Day, the Germans and the Allies and the Axis, they took a break for Christmas Day, all the people and the soldiers, where they like shared gifts and they like played some soccer. And
yeah, like actual people on the front lines were like, you know what?
Yeah, it's Christmas, let's chill. And it actually went on for a few hours before like their head people were like, what are you doing? We're in a war. And they were just like, Christmas. And they're like, no. So like the truth, they went back to like their things, and that happened in real life.
Yeah, which I actually borrowed that movie from my French 3 teacher. So Miss Jones, if you are watching, I'm sorry I never returned it. I still have it if you would like it back.
Oh my gosh.
Message me on Facebook. Since we're both on Facebook, I'm so sorry. French 3 was like back in 2008, 2009. So
it's like
still have it.
Yeah, it's just like every time we record, we just like confess to a crime. It's just like the crime of the day.
It's not a crime.
I have never done a crime.
It is kind of a crime. I normally do. I normally return stuff, but in this instance, I just never did. Which also, you know what? No, I'll save that one for another day.
Am I the least of us?
Well, I took another thing from school. Well, I rented it and I just never returned it, but I still have it. It's in good hands. They haven't called me.
They let you graduate.
Yeah, exactly. So
that's on them.
Yeah. Also, I'm Facebook friends with these teachers, so if it was really a problem, they could let me know.
For sure.
I mean, it's been like, oh God, it's been too long. I don't even want to say.
15 years.
I graduated in 2010, so.
Oh, me too.
Yeah. To be fair, I got held back a year, so I should have graduated in 2009. But
So, you got it. Yeah.
I know, Jenna. I know.
Our producer put in the chat that his favorite Christmas movie is Scrooge with Albert Finney, and I don't think I've seen that one.
I think it's from 1974.
Okay, I might look that one up.
I've seen
quick.
Patrick Stewart play Scrooge, but that's Muppet Christmas Carol.
I love the movie Scrooged with like
that's a good one.
With Bill Murray, right?
Yeah.
That's my favorite. Which I think they're doing like a. Is it a musical remake of Scrooged? They're doing with Will Ferrell.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So
my favorite. Okay, since we're gonna go into this, let me do this right now. My favorite Christmas movie of all time is called Klaus, and it is on Claus, whatever. It's on Netflix. It's one of their originals, and it's one of those ones that's hand drawn and computer animation put together. It won a bunch of awards, but anybody I talk to has never heard of it. And I have to say, I watch it every single year, and I love it because it is a completely different telling of the origin of Santa that just makes me so happy because people die at the fair.
People die at the fair?
Yep.
That's the highlight?
Fair?
So it's called Jay will put a picture in here. It's called Claus. Mm-hmm. So it starts off with a bunch of postmen doing postal things, like getting letters, sending letters and stuff like this. Mm-hmm. The head postman's son, the head postman's son is being forced to do all this stuff like in training camp, and he wants like nothing to do with it. So he's just kind of like fumbling about it and doing whatever. So his dad's like, guess what? You're going to Smearensburg. And he's like, where is Smearensburg? I don't understand. And literally he's like, you have to set up a new post office in Smearensburg within the year or you're cut off. And everybody's like, Smearensburg? Never heard of it. Except for the other head of the postman is like, dude, you're sending him where? Like, I get you want to teach him a lesson, but like, seriously, bro? Like there? And then he finally gets there and the whole town is nothing but a giant war scene. One side's all like redheaded people, one side's all black-haired people, and they've been fighting, and you learn in the movie, since they were cavemen. So, and he's like, nobody will send letters because the way that they get their message across is by literally throwing spears and dead fish at each other and actual full-on fighting of like hitting people. It's like, oh, it's great. I loved it. It's so good. So yeah, definitely get a chance to watch it.
I'll have to find it and watch it. And also to acknowledge Jay, he's correct. It was A Christmas Carol that has Patrick Stewart, not just.
Okay.
Real quick, I had wanted to talk about Thanksgiving entertainment because I feel like no one talks about that. And is there very much? Because I can only think of Thanksgiving, which is a horror movie. Charlie Brown, yes. But I can think of Thanksgiving and Charlie Brown.
And I know of a Thanksgiving movie that me and my family always watch. It's usually on TV. Is Planes, Trains, and Automobiles with John Candy and Steve Martin. Oh, yeah. That's a Thanksgiving movie.
Yeah, you're right. I've only seen that once. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
Does the Macy's Day Parade count?
Well, I was thinking like aside from it's something like the Macy's Day Parade or football, like aside from that.
Thanksgiving in Space.
Is that a movie? To be fair, I haven't seen Thanksgiving. I only know of its existence, which maybe that makes me part of the problem because I'm not watching the Thanksgiving entertainment.
Let me find it.
There's the Bob's Burgers episode that they were, like the Thanksgiving episodes.
Oh yeah.
Bob's Burgers.
Everybody has a Thanksgiving episode.
Yeah, I just that's the one I look forward to.
I do like a Slapsgiving from How I Met Your Mother.
Freebirds.
the taco place?
I love Freebirds. No. It's a turkey farm. And these turkeys are trying to get away. They're trying to get away before Thanksgiving happens, and they all get like slaughtered for Thanksgiving dinner.
Huh.
It's supposed to be a kids movie, but it was really dark.
But
yeah, I just pulled up a list of Thanksgiving movies. How is that a Thanksgiving movie? Okay, I'm gonna read you the list real quick. All right, Friendsgiving, Turkey Hollow, Turkey Bowl, Holiday, which is just all the holidays, The Oath, Freebirds, Black Friday, Addams Family Values, Batman: The Long Halloween. Those are not Thanksgiving. You lie. Son-in-Law.
That is. Oh my God, I can't believe I forgot about that. I love Son-in-Law so much. I can't believe I forgot about the Thanksgiving.
I haven't seen that one.
The Blind
That's
Side.
Pauly Shore. It's great.
Yeah, it's a great movie. Garfield Thanksgiving and You Got Mail. Those are the top picks for Thanksgiving movies, according to Google.
You see, there's not a lot. You Got Mail was a Thanksgiving movie?
There's Thanksgiving in it? What?
Oh, yeah, because she goes to the camp and they reenact the first Thanksgiving.
Does that really count?
Well, it might have been, yeah. I think there's definitely more Thanksgiving episodes as opposed to Thanksgiving movies.
Yeah. I mean, what upsets me, Hallmark literally has an entire 2 months of Christmas movies. They can't have just a week of Thanksgiving movies. And the only reason I ask that is eat me. Stop it. The only reason I ask that is because anytime I go to a relative's house, they always have the Hallmark channel on playing those Christmas movies. And I'm like, yo, it's Thanksgiving dinner today. Stop. Also, aren't you Jewish? What's happening here? But yeah, my entire family, they play the Hallmark love story, holiday, Christmas movies. So that's why I just stay home. I stay at home and I grilled steak and mashed potatoes and corn casserole with some rolls and a pumpkin pie and Cool Whip. And we watch, normally what we watch is the David Tennant episode of Never Mind the Buzzcocks.
Nice.
And the John Barrowman episode. Yeah.
I will say, until Thanksgiving Day that just passed, I was showing Liam various clips from It's Always Sunny to be like, dude, it gets so much better once you get further in. And you can just watch any episode. It's great. We were watching clips and something happened and I was like, wait, there's like a Thanksgiving decoration in there. Oh my God, I forgot that there's a Thanksgiving episode. Why am I not watching that every year?
Yes.
I think it's where they try to squash beef with everyone and then end up setting the apartment on fire while everyone's locked inside.
I understand that. I'm so glad I did what I did this year for Thanksgiving. I cannot believe. So last year, does anybody know what I did for Thanksgiving last year? I cooked a whole giant turkey by myself over the course of a week. For the first time. I've never cooked turkey before, and I cooked a giant one. And I had like 24 relatives at my house that day. And the night before, 2 of my cousins and 4 of their kids had come over. And we're just like, we got the kids to sleep. They're all asleep all over the couches. And they're like stupid drunk in the kitchen trying to figure out if they added salt to their pie. I think they were supposed to be making like potato pie or something. I'm going to be honest. Nobody ate it because so you pour rum in it and they couldn't remember if they put rum and salt in it. So they kept adding more rum and salt to it. So nobody ate their weird pumpkin pie.
This sounds like they were trying to make a weird margarita and failed.
Out of pie, I guess, you know. And it was just me sitting in my dining room in my chair, just like watching this whole interaction.
Oh, I remember these videos now.
Yeah. where she's like, you gotta add the salt, you gotta add the flour, and I'm just like, you already did. She's like, okay, you gotta add a shot of whiskey, and I'm like, wait, I thought it was rum. I bought rum. She was like, oh, we drank that, so we're gonna do whiskey, and I'm like,
Oh no.
there's a whole nother bottle of rum for cooking. She's like, oh, where'd the whiskey come from? And I'm like, I don't know. There a magic bottle of whiskey showed up at my house, and I'm like, we already had 2 bottles of rum because when all of us cousins get together, everybody just needs like a drink, just like one little one. Just when you have like 20 kids and you have like all 10 of us cousins and brothers and sisters together, and the aunts and the uncles and the grandparents, like.
I'm so glad I have a small family.
Oh, I just realized. So there was so I didn't cook very much this year. The only things I cooked were like we had like really simple like this year. I was like, and I told my family, I was like, I'm really tired. I've been working nonstop. I'm not cooking. I'm gonna go to the store and pick up some King's Hawaiian rolls. Here you go. Because at first my mom was like, well, you could make biscuits. We don't have an oven, but you could make them in the air fryer. And I was like, nope.
Wait a minute.
Go to the store.
No oven.
Yeah, it's an ongoing thing. Like my parents' kitchen has electrical issues. It's a thing. Yeah, I grew up without an oven for most of being alive. So
okay,
I've watched a lot of YouTube to learn how to cook.
All right.
Yeah, so everything was pretty minimal. One thing was that when I went to my grandparents' house to visit, my cousin, who she's like 16, and she had made a pie, and I wasn't home for Thanksgiving last year, but evidently she made a pie last year, and she put way too much like gelatin in it, and it was like rubber. Like you could just like pick up a slice of pie and like wiggle, 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 and it would. But this year she went and she made lemon meringue, which is like my favorite pie ever. I love it. And she went the other way with it. And it was like you had to get a spoon and just like get yourself some lemon meringue soup. And like I was like looking at like a couple people didn't eat any, but I was like because I was like so excited when she was like, I made lemon meringue pie. I was like, oh, it's awesome. And I got myself a spoon. It was so good. It was so good. I think that she put too much lemon in it, which made it like have a really high acid content, which made it not set. But that made it great. It was so sour and so good. So
okay, so from now on, we have to give Bean lemon meringue soup in the pie crust.
I'll eat it. It's good.
Pie, it makes me so sad. Pie is my favorite food group. I love
food group.
I love pumpkin pie. I love pumpkin pie. I like sweet potato pie. I like blueberry pie. I like strawberry
broccoli pie.
I like raspberry. What did you just say to me?
I said broccoli pie. My dude's family, they make a really good broccoli pie. It's delicious. It's amazing. It's not just broccoli. If that you're probably getting the idea that it's just broccoli. It's like meat and broccoli. It's like a whole thing.
It's like
I like
it's like a whole thing.
Just I like broccoli in a pie crust.
Yeah, I was like, somebody steamed a bunch of broccoli and poured it in there and put like cheese on top. That's what my brain saw.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
no, him and his dad, like, his family can actually cook. So no, that's not what it was. It was like an actual thing. It wasn't just steamed broccoli with cheese on top of a crust. It was not that.
I will not try that. But the one that you're describing, I will. Anywho, yes, mincemeat pie, which doesn't have any actual meats. It's actually just nuts and berries, people. Chill. But the top 2 tier best pies on the planet is pecan pie and pumpkin pie, especially if you get that Cool Whip to put on top. I can eat a whole one by myself. Which brings me to the disaster of 2022 Thanksgiving. And I told you two the story about this earlier. And Jay and Sean lived through this. But I only get pie 2 to 3 times a year, right? I get it about Christmas, Hanukkah season, and Thanksgiving, and then in April, when half my family celebrates Easter. So I get pie those 3 times a year, right? 2022. I got and made a whole pumpkin pie for me and Jay for Thanksgiving this year. Right? Great. Okay, good. So when I went to bed Thanksgiving night, there was 2 slices of pumpkin pie left. When I got up for Friday morning to get ready for work, I looked at them and I was like, there's 2 slices left. I'm going to treat myself. I'm going to treat myself for working all day Black Friday. I'm going to treat myself. So I get home from work. We had a great day at the store. I get home from work and I walk over to the fridge and I open the fridge. There's no pie or Cool Whip. I look in the trash and there's the tin and the empty tub of Cool Whip. There's currently an investigation still going on right now.
I like the fact that the people that are guilty are like, that can hear you screaming.
And on that note, guys, we're going to take a really quick short break while I go do some interrogations some more. And maybe we might have an answer for you when we come back. So we'll see you in a minute. Bye.
Bye.
Programming on the EXP is made possible by viewers like you, or your local comic shop, or that Kickstarter you backed, or the publisher you like, or comic industry professionals who want to share a message with the world. Really, anyone who wants to advertise with us can. If you're interested in seeing a product you know and love, or are creating, or are publishing, or are involved with, advertised here on The Experience, and having your message shared with our viewers, please reach out by scanning the QR code below or visiting our website and using the contact form. Do you remember what it was like when you were a little kid and you got a letter in the mail? Now imagine that letter was filled with information about your favorite shows, pop culture questions, links to things you're going to want to see later, and even sneak peeks at upcoming programming here on The Experience. That's what the EXP mailing list is. Every week, we send you sneak peeks, information, and all of the relevant links for all of the shows you want to see. Sign up now on our website or scan the QR code that's on your screen right now. Why was Princess Zelda sad after watching a bunch of YouTube videos? She couldn't find a link in the description. We'll stop if you subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's super easy. Click subscribe and click the bell when you do. And thanks for supporting the EXP.
All right, guys, welcome back. So I have given a very detailed description of the thief, and Bean has done it perfectly. Please show them the wanted poster.
There we go.
There it is. That's the thief.
Wanted pie thief, dead or alive. That's what they look like. It is inaccurate because there were 2 slices of pie taken, but I drew it small and had bad planning. So,
but there it is. There's the thief.
Yep.
If you have any information about this crime, please reach out to us. There may or may not be a reward,
but it won't be pie.
Committed this crime. If you,
we'll let you live.
I'll let you live. Pie is my favorite food group.
Which I don't really see. Like, I understand holiday foods being holiday foods because they take a long time to make or they're just difficult. You don't have time. But some things, just make a pie.
I ain't got time. I don't have time.
Well, still, but you could theoretically have pie any time of the year. It's just like, for some reason in my family, like deviled eggs, that's always just a holiday thing. I can just make deviled eggs. I can just make them. It's not that big of a deal. Just make deviled eggs. Just make the food if you want it.
It's having the time, because usually for the holidays, you'll get a day or 2 off of work. And so you have that time to be able to do that stuff. Because the rest of the year, we don't. Oh, I'll take that back. 4th of July, I usually get me a snow cone that tastes like a blueberry pie. So close.
You could have a 4th of July pie.
You could have birthday pie.
You could have birthday pie.
So bad.
I had a birthday key lime pie one year.
I want a birthday pecan pie.
Do it. Have it.
Anyways,
Find the ingredients.
original thing. I saw a new thing. I watched a new thing that's up on Netflix. It was so good that Jay and I actually sat down. It was Wednesday. We watched Wednesday on Netflix. I don't know if you guys have gotten a chance to watch it. So the day before Thanksgiving, I got off a little earlier than we thought I was going to. Yeah, on Wednesday. Ugh, that's a whole thing. Anywho. So day before Thanksgiving, on Wednesday, I got off a little earlier than I thought I was going to. We went home, and I brought home a pizza and wings, and we were like, okay, let's try the first episode, and then we can just like pass out because we're exhausted, we're working. 8 hours later, we finished it. It was amazing. We couldn't stop watching it, and I laughed, I cried, kind of from tears of joy. It was so good. Oh, it was so good. And they took the original mythos of like from the comics, from the TV shows, from the animated TV show, from the movies, and they kind of brought them all together, and they gave them their own little like twist to it, where it's like Morticia, and you learn this in the first episode, Morticia and Wednesday actually have a power. And it's really cool to see oh God, it was so good. It was so twisty too. Like I expected there to be some twists. I expected it, but I saw, okay, there's the twist. The twist happened. And then another. I was like, oh, and then another. And I was like, no, press next episode now, please. I couldn't stop. I think in that 8 hours, we took like one break to take the dogs out and just like change into pajamas. And then we went back to watching it. It was so good. It was amazing.
That's awesome. I was planning on asking you guys if you guys had seen Wednesday, because I haven't watched it. I haven't had time yet. So I'm excited now.
Who needs sleep?
Well, no one, but I mean, when I'm watching a show, I don't necessarily have to have sleep.
Exactly.
But just gotta plan out which show I'm watching.
But yeah, so we just started it because we were like, okay, we just want to try one episode while we're eating so that way we can pass out. We're exhausted from work. And next thing I knew, it was like 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, something like that. And we were on the last episode. And we couldn't stop. It is so good. Oh, we also watched the Weird Al movie.
Oh, how's that?
Oh, that's also on my list.
Oh my God, it's so ridiculous. It's good. Oh my God. So for the first like 3 acts of the movie, you can kind of see it doing a parallel of like what actually happened in real life versus, well, actually, okay. So the first half of the movie feels like it's paralleling real life to this sort of like, but with funny to it, like to the side, you know, kind of making it like ha ha funny to, and then it, oh my God. Oh my God. It, in the second half, it's kind of like, it's like, it's paralleling, and it starts doing this, right? So it starts getting a little further away, and then something happens, and it just turns like into this like thing, or it's like, I don't know what's happening anymore. Oh my God. It was so good. I laughed probably almost the entire time, especially that like once it like jeered off and that one thing happened, and you're just like, what? That's great. The casting was brilliant. And I think everybody, so good. Jack Black's character was hysterical.
I don't think I knew that Jack Black was in it.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Weird Al actually makes an intro to it too, where he's like, everything in this movie is totally true. And I have not seen it. Daniel Radcliffe played this character so perfectly.
What is it on? Like where to watch it?
I think that
Oh
it
my
premiered on Roku TV.
Yes, it is free on.
Oh
Roku.
yeah, you're right.
You can have like 2 ads or something like that.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
Jack Black's character is only in there for like 1 scene, but he plays it so perfectly because there's also somebody from Queen. There's also somebody in there from Queen, and like they play off of each other so perfectly. And
Is it Ryan May?
Jay,
That's the only
please-
person from Queen I know for sure.
I
Well, aside from Freddie,
can't
but you know.
remember, sorry. Yeah. So
Or Brian May.
and then there's a pool party where it's all the comedians of the 70s and 80s and 90s are there just doing their thing.
David Dalmatian, the bassist from Queen.
Okay.
Yes. Like there was even, I can't remember the dude's name, and he just passed away. So rest his soul. The guy who smashes watermelons.
Oh. Oh my God.
Like threw watermelons off the roof?
No.
No. He smashes them on stage
He
with a
mallet and he smashed it.
Oh, I
What
don't
was
know.
his name?
Gallagher. Yeah, thanks, Jay.
Yes, thank you. And then there was also like Divine, like somebody who played Divine. They literally had everybody represented there, and it like, you know, that one guy's like tiptoe through the tulips.
Tiny Tim.
Yes, thank you. Like it was so good.
The list of things I need to get caught up on is getting long. But I'll get it.
I mean, same.
Maybe this holiday break we will.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we were going through favorite holiday movies. Jenna's was Claus. Alfie, did you say what your favorite one is?
I didn't. Well, I know that the ones that we always put on are like Home Alone, which I really enjoy, and
Did you know there are 6 of those now?
yes, fully aware. I hate that I know.
It was my turn to make the face because I don't like those movies.
Yeah, that's fine. They're not for everyone, I guess. And then National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, that's typically on. Scrooge always comes on.
Yeah.
It's not specifically a Christmas movie, I guess, but it technically does take place in that time period. But there's this movie called Screwed that has oh my God, he passed away not too long ago. Norm Macdonald, and he's working for another person who passed away not too recently. I can't remember her name, but she's in loads of things. But he's working for this woman, and she's like super rich, and she fires him like during the holiday season. And he makes a plan to kidnap her dog and hold it for ransom.
Really?
Obviously not letting her know that it's him or anything. It's just like, hey, hold a ransom on your dog. Becomes a whole thing. And his best friend is Dave Chappelle, and they talk about it. I think Sarah Silverman's in it as well. Danny DeVito makes an appearance as a coroner. But it's a whole thing. I really like that movie. Muppet Christmas Carol, classic. Screwed.
Okay.
Yeah, like instead of Scrooged, Screwed.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'll have to check that
Oh,
out.
and I guess it's not a movie, but every year I do try to watch the Always Sunny Christmas special.
I go back and I reread. So Marvel many years ago put out a Christmas Story, but with zombies. So it's a Christmas Story with zombies comic that Marvel put out, and I read that every year. That's my holiday tradition. All right, guys, do you know what time it is? It is time for Pick of the Week. Pick of the Week. Do. Dope. So this week, it was Alfie's week. Alfie, do you want to remind us what we read?
It was called Melvina's Therapy on Webtoon. Webtoons? Webtoons. So it's completely free, available for everyone to read. Highly recommend.
I read the first 50 chapters in one go. Oh my god, it was so good. Okay. Bean, how far did you get before we?
I read through the first like story. So like that first like it's like the first 5. It's like the hare's arms.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I just like read through like the first therapy patient.
I'm trying to think of just that one. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my god, it was so good.
So what did you guys think?
Obviously, I hated it and was totally miserable. I hate horror, so you know. Oh my goodness, there was a weird, gross monster. Ew.
What was crazy to me was the monster wasn't even actually the monster that the therapy session was about.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I really wasn't expecting that twist.
And then her face fell off, just
as it does.
As one does. Which means this entire time, from the time she was a chitlin to the time she was grown, she was wearing a mask of skin.
But I mean, aren't we all?
Well, I mean, okay.
They pointed out also, like, yeah, that's truth.
That's why I yelled spoilers a minute ago. Anywho.
Yeah. Also, this is like I said, this is in the first 5 chapters. It took me like 10 minutes to read. Like, it goes really fast.
So I was just, oh my gosh, it was so good.
Yeah, which just to kind of explain it, break it down a little bit. It's not necessarily like each episode is a different patient. It's like there's like pieces of like, oh, the first 5 is this patient, the next 6 is this patient, and it just varies. And at a certain point, well, actually, there's always kind of a crossover because obviously Melvina is everyone's therapist.
Yeah.
But you know, it all kind of comes together, and the author is really good about posting at the end of it, like, oh, hey, here's all the symbolism that you might have missed. Here's some explanation. Here's some little Easter eggs. You know.
Yeah.
Which I really love when people do that, because it's like, maybe I missed something. Yeah. Maybe I interpreted it one way and you meant it this way.
Yeah. I do have to say, and I'm going to try not to spoil this for Bean, I think it's the 3rd or 4th story, I can't remember exactly, is my favorite, just because the mathematical symbolisms that they used in it made me so happy. Because it wasn't just that they did it in people, they did it in the plants and the trees, and that oh my god, it was so good. Okay, try not to spoil it, I'm sorry. It's
really good.
In the 3rd one, there's actually a moment that is my like worst nightmare.
Oh, and for some reason in the first chapter, there's just like the second panel is just a big old man butt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
all the man butt.
I opened it. I was like, oh, okay. And it doesn't really come back. I'm guessing that'll like come back. But he was just naked.
For some reason, I don't remember that bit. But to be fair,
it's the part where I think I remember that one. Like he's in the shower and she's standing there and he's telling her that she needs to go to therapy or something.
Oh, okay.
It's like the intro. It's literally like the second panel, and I think it's more of like a psychological getting you. Happening. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But he's just out there double cheeked up on a Tuesday in the second panel.
Well, they like to. I guess this comic also has some fan service.
Obviously.
Here's some butt. Yeah. I definitely hope that both of y'all continue reading it. I do want to say that as it went along, I loved the art more and more. Because this was not something that I previously read. I actually finished everything yesterday. And as the art goes along, as stuff gets more twisted and it seems like the artist is getting more comfortable, it kind of has like some Junji Ito vibes in some scenes, and then it also has like some scary stories to tell in the dark vibes.
Okay.
It's like, oh, this is
I freaking
interesting.
love those books.
But yeah, I highly recommend it, and it's 10 out of 10. I'm excited to read the author's next thing because he's already working on other stuff. Well, I say already. This came out years ago, but you know.
That's what pick of the week is for, new and old, so we can all discover stuff. All right, that brings us to our next point. It is Bean's turn to tell us what are we reading for our next pick of the week.
All right, I just went and dug this out. And I have just been hit by the fear that I've picked this one before. But I know it hasn't been with Alfie.
No, we haven't read that.
Okay, I think I planned to do this one and then something else came up. Black Hammer Secret Origins. This is like the beginning. I'll loan you guys this one. It is not.
Is that the one by Patton Oswalt?
No, this is by Jeff Lemire.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think the second series is done by Patton Oswalt then. So my bad.
Was it? I didn't even know that. Because I thought that
I think I thought that there was another one that's done by Patton Oswalt. That I feel like
it's like a
Which
universe.
Black
So
Hammer
okay.
am I thinking of then?
So introduction to Black Hammer. So Secret Origins is where the story begins. This is a really, really good book. This is probably my favorite comic run of all time. Like it's right up there. And the Black Hammer, like it can be kind of confusing because what it is it's like a universe. Like it's like a whole world. But like this is the core story right here is Secret Origins, and then there's like I think 5 or 6 other volumes that go through their whole. Yeah, it's like it goes through their whole main arc. It is a little confusing because there's a lot of different names, and like you'll see like World of Black Hammer, Black Hammer Reborn. There's like a whole world, and but like this is the main story, and it is so good, and so I'm just gonna warn you, it's really sad.
Oh.
It is absolutely
Related.
Okay, so here is the best way that I can explain it is that you know how Garth Ennis wrote The Boys and was like, I hate superheroes. I'm gonna write something that is bad to superheroes. But then now everybody just loves The Boys and is like, haha, Homelander. It kind of didn't work super well if he's like, man, I hate superheroes, but everybody loves the superheroes that he wrote. This one is like, it's a superhero story, but it is like if real people were superheroes and got powers, and it is like very tragic. And I'm like, this is the kind of story Garth Ennis should have written if he wanted people to be disenfranchised with superheroes.
I don't know why, but I instantly, you describing it made me have a flash of, does anybody remember that show on the BBC called The Misfits?
Yes.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Where it was just like a bunch of kids that were on community service because they were bad kids, or not so much bad, but you know, they did things that put them in community service.
Mm-hmm.
And they got struck by lightning. They had powers.
Stole pie.
Yeah. Is that where the pie thief is? I'm going to find you. I will find you. I want my pie back.
I don't think you want it back now.
I don't want it back now. I want my pie.
But no, it's I absolutely love this series. It just like goes places because there's one named Barbalian who is an alien from Mars. And he has a standalone book called Barbalian Red Planet.
Oh.
If you had just a million guesses as to what that book deals with. I don't know if you would hit on what it's about. It deals heavily with the AIDS crisis.
Oh.
So, like I said, this series goes places that you're like, I thought we were just having fun with aliens. And now there's homophobia.
Rude.
Oh,
It's so good though. Yeah, I'm really excited for you guys to read it.
I'm excited to read it.
I am too.
Because actually, Black Hammer, I've heard of it, and it's been on my list for a bit, so now it's like, okay, an excuse to
It was
actually,
really-
focus it.
I saw it, and like I think it is that thing where it was like I saw it in stores for like years and never picked it up because I didn't know where to start with it. And Secret Origins is where you start. Like I finally just did a bunch of research on it, figured it out, found it, bought it. Here it is. And I read it all through the public library because the Harris County Public Library has all of them.
Nice.
For free on there. So I actually only own the first volume, so I'm really sorry if you guys get really invested and want to read the rest of it because I don't have it physically.
There are ways. We work in a comic book store. I'm pretty sure we can figure out how to get it. The great magic.
Book thief.
It better not be. The book thief better not be over there with my pie thief, because then I will truly, truly have to leave the country for the atrocities I will commit.
All of the arson.
Yes, we have decided that I am in my arson villain phase.
The arc is happening. The arc of the arson.
The arc of the arson, which is, I guess, is much better than the last one that I was in, where it was my start a riot phase, where I was just starting riots everywhere.
Yeah. I'm in my throw myself into the sun phase. I just keep saying that that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay, Superman, chill out.
I'm still in the, hey, let's just put it on the moon. I'm gonna stay in that phase until it stops being funny to me.
Dangerous. Like, stop. There's prisons up there and like terrible, terrible monsters. That's where we keep putting them.
Yeah.
Pie thief on the moon. Problem solved.
Okay, I like that. All right, Alfie, it may be time to take us out of here so that way I can go and continue interrogating people.
Okay. Well, then on that note, we hope that everyone had a happy holidays if you celebrate them. If you don't, then I hope you just had a good time. And remember to lock your doors, lock your windows, lock up your fridges, because there's a pie thief on the loose. And you just have to keep an eye out. Keep your pies safe. Or just eat all of it in one go, so then no one can steal.
Probably would have been smarter.
Yeah. So that's been Bean. That's been Jena. I've been Alfie, and we are all Space Cadets. Goodbye.
Bye.